Hello, and this is Jim Zuris, podcast host and operator of SISREP, Senior Information Service for Real Estate Professionals. Today I'm with Ernie Armijo. He's the branch manager at Berkshire Hathaway here in Lakewood, California. Hello, Ernie. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. And yourself?
Very good. Ernie, we met about a week ago. You're the branch manager here, and I learned that you're also a senior real estate specialist, SRES.
Absolutely.
And I thought it'd be great to do one of our podcasts with you, Ernie, from the view of a branch manager. What we do here at SISREP is we provide information, ideas through podcasts and through other materials and videos and such to help real estate agents who maybe have already been focusing on the senior market or agents that are just now looking at this market and saying, this is something that makes sense for my business plan. A big part of a branch manager is recruiting and retainment of agents, right?
That is correct.
As I understand it, the model is recruiting, and you're doing a lot of training.
Absolutely.
And what I want to get from you, Ernie, is your take now when the fact that I've heard is that the average real estate agent is 59 years old. And some will say 57. Would you concur with that?
Absolutely.
So I would imagine there's a good portion of prospects who eventually decide to join your organization that are kind of in that age group, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. It sure makes sense for those new agents in that age group. And I'm getting a lot of traction from younger agents, too, that realize that the senior market is something they ought to be focusing in on.
Right.
Can you share with me a little bit your take on that, and especially from the angle of you having your SRES, how this would impact your recruiting?
Well, that's the one thing I pride myself on when recruiting. I pride myself on knowing the latest and greatest marketing activities that are needed in order to succeed in today's environment. And so SRES is a designation that helps to understand how to be a senior real estate specialist. And so with that, we have trainings here in our office regarding that. That ties into also from an awareness standpoint where, we can educate the consumer who owns real estate. Let's say they have a will or they don't even have a will. It's just they're holding title under their name. We're able to educate them on two things. One, what is the benefits of having a living trust in place? And then two, we're able to educate them on the Prop 13 and Prop 60 propositions that help them with downsizing and taxation, things of that nature to help offset taxes. From that standpoint, there's a lot of different doors that open up. So what I do with agents that I recruit, one, I get them educated on that. Then the second part of that is the marketing. And part of the marketing is that we have seminars that are geared towards senior citizens where they're able to come in. I'll bring down the county recorder to really educate them on the propositions and give them a handout of information. Then with that, I also get them other information like reverse mortgage people to step in and talk, title people to come in and talk regarding the options that they have. Now with that, my experience has been that people are looking to downsize. Some people are ready to go into nursing homes. Some people are ready just to go into a senior community where there's activities. For example, there was a gentleman that attended one of our events. He was in his 70s. And he said he was lonely. It was just him by himself and no family, no nothing. And he wanted to be in a community where he could be around other folks like himself, to be able to make friends and go to different events. Well, we moved him over to the Seal Beach, senior citizen city there.
Right.
And it's called Leisure World.
Right. Leisure World.
Yeah. So after making the transition, he moved from Long Beach, the Bixby Knolls area. And so he sold his place there, moved there, visited him about 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And he says there's about 7 different women bringing me dinner every day.
Oh, wow. That's funny. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I love that story.
Yeah, he was very excited about life. He was energetic.
Yep. Yeah.
When we first met him, he
kind of a lonely soul,
really lonely, very sad. And when we saw him, he was upbeat, trying to hurry up and brush us out.
Wow. You know what I love about that story, Ernie? And I'm seeing this more and more with other agents that do the same thing. It's really what we're talking about here is adding value for seniors.
Absolutely.
And at the same time, you guys got the listing, right, in the sale?
Yep.
Yeah,
sure
so what I love that is it's a program. I haven't seen it at all at the branch manager level where you are so tuned in to this market. You get a sale, that's just great for business. But the cool thing is you really helped.
It really
made a difference. And that's really what marketing to the seniors is all about, isn't it?
We gave him hope. We gave him a new lifestyle and something that he did not have.
Sure.
And so now he's no longer lonely. Now he can enjoy wood shop or gardening. And
good for him.
Yeah, so it's great. It's great. Yeah. It's fun.
It's what I love about the reverse mortgage too. That's why it's the only type of loan that I specialize in is because you you really change people's lives for the
Absolutely.
better. And it's so cool that it sounds to me like you're kind of building a branch culture around that. Is that the right word?
That is the right word. That is the right word. We believe in 3 different pillars of business, and that is one of them.
Great.
That is one of them. And so the seniors need a lot of help.
Mm-hmm.
And without somebody that's educated on propositions, resources like a reverse mortgage,
Right.
Or other options. Like I work with various nonprofits that have grant programs to help repair homes,
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with roofs, heaters, water lines, things of that nature, health and safety things, just to keep them safe. And those grants are there for them. Mm-hmm. And so all of these different resources are there for us to educate.
Total value add.
Absolutely.
It's creating a relationship, a value add relationship. Mm-hmm. With that senior client. You're not talking about trying to sell their home.
No,
are you?
not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. We're talking about resources and options. And see, I always tell my agents, you cannot force anyone to buy or sell. They will already have to have the need. So your job is to go out, educate, fish it out, and see who it is that needs your assistance and help. And some people you may meet today, it could be a year, 2, 3 years from now where you'll actually provide them the service. Mm-hmm. But the thing is to have a heart of a servant, to go out and serve people and give them the information they need so that way at least they're aware of it and then they can make a decision on what's best for their future or what type of moves they're making. Because from one day to the next, I mean, right now somebody's feeling perfectly healthy. Right. And then later on tonight, they're walking and like the 90-year-old lady around the corner from me trips, breaks her hip. Now she has to be in a nursing home.
And her life has changed.
Life has changed. And with that, now her only inheritor, the only person that is in line to inherit what she has, is out of state. And he's an attorney. Right. And he's like, hey, I have to sell this so I can afford to pay her health care.
Right. That's a model I know that you see, and right. that's a model. And when we talk about, the baby boomers, yes. I'm sure you heard the same statistics. You probably heard even more statistics in the sense that that's 10,000 retirees a day.
A day, yes.
3 transactions, the downsize, which you mentioned, yep. Second home, yes. Which not everybody does a second home. My folks had 2 homes, right. One in Palm Springs and Big Bear, so there's that. Uh-huh. And then, of course, the probate, the sales transaction. Yes. And when you project that over the next 18 years, that, to me, if I was an agent, and this is fantastic that you're actually a branch manager building an organization around that opportunity. I'd certainly do it as an agent. The other question I want to ask in hearing your story, Ernie, is when you're dealing with these seniors, these situations, does that also open up to their sphere of influence?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of the senior citizens, their daily routine is going and hanging out at a senior center. Their
right.
daily routine is going and talking to a neighbor.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the ones that know everything that's going on in the neighborhood.
Part of the idea behind SISREP is it's a 60 to 90 minute workshop. Mm-hmm. I used to say it's 60, but I ran into an associate broker that wants to make it 90, which is great. Wow. But it's the idea of, and not all agents farm, but the idea of farming, of segmenting your market, which means you find among other demographic segments or however you want to define it, you find senior. Right. And then why not take a marketing program and just target those seniors over time, like you said? Right. And it's if you ever saw Bewitched, it's before your time, but there was Mrs. Kravitz.
Yes.
Remember that?
I remember that.
So Mrs. Kravitz knew everything that was going on in the neighborhood. Yes. And in this model or this approach, it's the same thing. I call them or anchor contacts, if you will.
Absolutely.
And it's somebody that can tell you what's going on in the neighborhood. Like you said, maybe someone at the senior center.
Yes.
Suddenly is looking at assisted living or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it sounds, again, this is great, I'm repeating what you already know, but if you can build that kind of network and you're getting these referrals and you're getting to connect with those seniors with these topics, which we're presenting here with SISREP, right. You're going to get listings, you're going to get sales that your competitors that are knocking on the door offering CMAs will never even see. Would you? Yeah,
I completely agree.
Yeah.
There's a neighborhood that I geographically farm. There was a property that was listed by another agent, and it was way underpriced, and then it wasn't even put together right, in that she didn't educate the seller on what the needs are of the home in order to get it in its best light to get the most amount of money. Mm-hmm. But with that, I saw a neighbor there who she's the neighborhood.
Mrs. Kravitz.
Miss Kravitz.
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting. I talked to her and I said, wow, it's really sad that the neighborhood's going to be affected by this one sale. And she said, well, some folks, they just have their own agents, Ernie, but it is a shame because unless they're working with somebody that understands the neighborhood and knows what true value is here and what it takes to sell a home, she goes, they're really going to be at a disadvantage. She goes, but I'm going to talk to them and let them know that was a mistake. She goes, but by the way, the people around the corner are looking to sell too. And
there you go.
So she's in tune to everything going on, who's selling, who, because she's the neighborhood expert.
There you go, exactly. And the other thing, too, is if you're farming, you can farm at 10 o'clock in the morning. You're going to catch those clients.
Oh, absolutely.
Someone at work, they're working till 5, right?
Working till 5. And it's interesting because the biggest owners of real estate right now that's owned free and clear are the baby boomers.
Right.
That is the generation. And then the next generation, which are the millennials, their grandchildren, are the second largest that are up and coming. So between the two, it's interesting to see the two different markets segments. And so for me, I look at it and say, okay, the seniors are going to offload these properties and somebody's going to need to buy them.
Absolutely.
And I really believe that the millennials are going to be part of that boom. So you have to have two different marketing campaigns, one geared towards seniors and one that's in digital form that can deal with people that are out there that are tech savvy and using their phones for everything.
So you're doing a lot of training with social networking and such as well, right?
I've actually hired professionals to come and work at my office just to be able to deal with social media sites, websites, linking them all together, and then also dealing with the SEO and SEC type of situations to be able to help get all of this media to the top of the search engines. And so it's a very tedious task, a lot of effort, a lot of money. But the reality is that if you'll be a professional that's earning anything in today's world or helping individuals, you'll have to be visual. So in today's world, you have to have two things as a real estate agent. And one, if you're not geographically farming, well, that's going to be a disadvantage because these seniors, chances are they're going to talk to somebody at the door rather than going on social media or onto Zillow and trying to find these folks. So some of the baby boomers are a little tech savvy. Some
agents. Have you seen that commercial, the Ally Bank, where the grandparents have the laptop with the cord on top and the kids are coming up, hi, dear, fix this. It doesn't work.
Yes.
So that's a great take. I can really appreciate that you got both sides.
Yes.
Both sides are going because I would imagine most agents are one way or the other.
Yep.
And as a manager, it makes sense that you would want to. And good agents have both sides working for them, don't they?
Absolutely.
Well, Ernie, I really appreciate you taking the time. This has been fantastic. Honestly, you're validating a lot of the thinking and a lot of the approach of SISREP. Mm-hmm. I appreciate you doing that. Now I'm going to have your contact information on the website. If you can you share it in case someone's maybe in their car and they're on their cell phone and they want to call you right now?
My name's Ernie Armijo, and my contact number is 562-500-8514. Or you can email me at ErnieArmijoJr@Yahoo. That's ERNIEARM like Mary, IJOJR @yahoo.com. Look forward to hearing from anyone.
Great. Ernie, love your approach. Great interview. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.